Many of you ask yourselves why, even though you work hard, doors stay locked, chances disappear, and an unseen weight follows you everywhere. It is not always because of your effort, but because of what surrounds you in the unseen world. What you take into your body can either open you to divine energy or tie you down to darkness. Today I want to share with you one simple food that, when eaten once a week, carries ancient wisdom and hidden strength that can drive away witchcraft, break chains of lack, and silence evil spirits that try to linger around you. When we talk about protection, about breaking curses, about rising above unseen powers, we must first understand the vessel we live in during this life, our body. Too often people think of their body as only skin, bone, and muscle, something that just carries them in the physical world. But in truth, the body is far more than this. It is not only a frame, it is a living temple. It is the place where your energy rests, where your spirit finds shelter, and where your destiny is either built up or broken down. The mistake many make is believing battles are won only through effort or with a strong mind. But many struggles are won or lost depending on the state of your inner vessel. If your body is weak, polluted, or separated from its true purpose, then you leave yourself open to attacks you cannot even see. When you eat, when you breathe, when you drink, you are not only feeding the physical form, you are shaping the vibration of the spirit within you. Every bite you take has an effect on your inner self, whether you notice it or not. That is why some foods make you feel heavy, tired, and spiritually clouded. And yet there are other foods that lift you up. They leave you clear, focused, sharper, with a kind of energy that feels pure. This is not only a matter of chemicals or nutrients, it is something deeper. For centuries, elders, wise teachers, and spiritual keepers have known that food is not just for the body, but also for the unseen. Think of your body as a sacred house. If you lived in a house, would you let dirt pile up? Would you allow poison to drip into the walls or open the doors for thieves to walk in? Of course not. But this is what many unknowingly do to their bodies daily. They take in what weakens them. They follow habits that expose them. Then they ask why they are weary, why they face attacks, why they cannot rise higher. The truth is, your body holds energy, like a container. If that energy is corrupted, even the strongest spirit will struggle to show its power through it. To protect yourself, you must respect this vessel. You must see it as more than just flesh, more than something that seeks taste or desire. You must honor it as a temple that needs cleansing, that needs strength, and that needs the right kind of fuel to shine from within. When you start to eat with awareness, when you begin to see that food is medicine not only for the body but also for the soul, you will notice change inside of you. Your clarity will return. Your dreams will become vivid, your intuition will grow sharper, and more than this, your spirit will release an energy that darkness cannot stand. Witchcraft, lack, and evil spirits do not live easily in strong vessels. They feed on weakness, on confusion, on bodies and minds that are scattered and without God. This is why the first step is not to look outside of yourself for answers, but to look within, into your body, your temple, and your energy. By aligning yourself with foods that carry cleansing and protective qualities, you close the openings through which dark forces try to enter. When you honor your body, you honor your spirit. Even something as simple as drinking clean water with focus can change your state. The same is true of specific foods that carry a sacred vibration. When taken with faith, with awareness, they do more than feed. They transform, they lift, they shield, they empower the temple so that when darkness comes, it finds no door to walk through. Eating like this once a week as a ritual is not superstition. It is realignment. It is saying to yourself, my body is sacred, my energy is sacred. I will not allow what is unclean to live in me. If you were preparing for battle, you would never go to the field with broken armor. You would never step out without a shield. Yet many move through life daily with broken shields and cracked armor, surprised when arrows wound them. This food, this practice, this awareness repairs that armor. It restores the shield. It makes the vessel strong to carry the spirit without fear of invasion. Once you understand this, you stop eating without thought. You stop seeing food as only taste or survival. You begin to eat with respect, with thanks, and with awareness of the energy you bring into yourself. When you do this, you will feel the heaviness leave. You will see the chains of lack weaken. You will sense that evil has no place near you. This is the beginning, treating your body as sacred. Only when the vessel is strong can the spirit truly shine. Through all history, people have known food is more than survival. In every culture and tradition, there are sacred meals, rituals, and offerings tied to the spirit. Bread shared among family, rice scattered at shrines, herbs burned in prayer. None of this was random. The old ones knew what many today forget. Food carries a vibration. That vibration can heal, protect, and awaken something beyond flesh. What you eat can align you with light or drag you into darkness. This is why wise ones were careful about what they consumed and why they taught about foods not only for health, but for spiritual defense. If you look closely, everything in the world is energy. A tree, a river, a stone, all carry frequency. Food is the same. It is not only calories or nutrients. It carries what the earth imprints into it. Some foods take in the purity of sunlight, the cleansing of rain, the strength of soil. Others hold decay, heaviness, and imbalance. When you put food into your body, you are absorbing its story, its energy, its resonance. That is why some foods leave you calm while others disturb your rest. That is why some meals bring clarity while others leave your spirit uneasy. Ancient people saw eating not as ordinary, but as shaping the aura. They taught that some foods could strengthen the spirit so much that curses would have no effect. Stories tell of warriors who ate certain roots before battle, believing it shielded them not only from arrows of steel, but also arrows of sorcery. Mothers gave children herbs so evil could not follow them at night. These were not empty tales. They were truths observed through time. When you eat without care, you treat food as ordinary. You take it in only because of hunger, desire, or habit. But when you eat with care, you feel something sacred. You notice your body reacts differently to pure, high-vibration foods. You realize that after eating such things, your prayers grow stronger, your meditation goes deeper, and your energy remains steady even when negativity presses close. This is because you are not only feeding flesh and bone, but also spirit and aura. Imagine your inner being as a lamp. Food is the oil that fuels that lamp. If the oil is pure, the flame is bright, steady, and cannot be shaken by winds. If the oil is polluted, the flame flickers, weakens, and can be put out by the smallest breath. Each day and each week you choose what oil to pour into your lamp, and darkness is far less drawn to a bright, steady flame. Darkness cannot live beside light. The brighter your inner flame, the faster witchcraft flees, curses break, and poverty loses its grip. Modern living has made many forget this. In the rush to fill the stomach, people eat without thought. They eat lifeless, processed things stripped of energy, then ask why their life feels heavy, why their spirit feels numb, why their strength feels drained again and again. The answer is simple. They are fueling themselves with the wrong oil. When you fill yourself with empty food, you are left with emptiness inside. But when you choose food that is connected to the earth, food that carries the breath of the sun, the soil, and the rain, you are no longer taking in emptiness. You are taking in creation itself. There is a deeper truth here, and that is intention. The way you approach the food is just as important as the food itself. Imagine two people eating the same fruit. One eats quickly and without thought, careless and distracted. The other pauses, gives thanks, and eats with the knowing that this fruit holds the energy of life. The same fruit gives two different results. The first person only fills the stomach. The second person absorbs blessing. This is why in ancient times people prayed before meals. They blessed their food. They understood that intention could awaken the hidden vibration in the food, turning it into more than nutrition. The food we are speaking of now is not only about taste or custom, it is about going back to old wisdom, the wisdom that says your body and your spirit eat together. When this food is taken once a week with intention, it becomes a shield. It becomes a way of declaring to the world, I choose purity, I choose safety, I choose light. And when you begin to live this way, when you eat with awareness, something in your life begins to shift. Negativity no longer sticks to you. Poverty no longer chains you. Evil no longer finds a resting place near you. Because you are not empty anymore, you are full of a vibration that darkness cannot stay near. Food joins the body and the spirit. What you eat is what you grow into. There is a reason why spiritual traditions across the earth focus on rhythm, repetition, and ritual. It is not because the universe needs endless repeating. It is because consistency builds strength. A single act done once may move the air around you, but an act done again and again with the right awareness begins to shape your inner world. This is why eating this sacred food weekly is not simply about feeding your body. It is about making a cycle that trains your body, mind, and spirit to stand in strength and protection. The modern way of thinking often seeks instant results. People want to eat something once and see transformation fall on them like lightning. But real power does not come this way. It is built like muscle, trained little by little. And just as wisdom deepens by reflecting often, spiritual power also grows through rhythm. By giving one day each week to this act, you create not just a meal, but a holy ritual. This meal becomes a reminder to yourself and a sign to the unseen world that you are building walls of light around your life. When you repeat an act with awareness, you are weaving energy into your life the way threads are woven into cloth. One thread may break easily, but thread after thread becomes strong fabric. And fabric can cover you from cold, from harm, and from the wind. The same is true here. Eating this food once a week weaves protection into the fabric of your being. At first, you may not see change right away, but as weeks pass, the fabric grows thicker, stronger, and harder for darkness to enter. There is hidden wisdom also in the rhythm of 7 days. The cycle of the week is not random. It is connected to the movement of time, to the way humans experience renewal. Just as the earth turns, just as the moon changes, just as the body heals through cycles of rest, so the spirit finds strength in patterns. Eating this food once a week is not only feeding yourself, it is aligning with the rhythm of life. You are anchoring your energy in a pattern that brings balance and stability. Many do not see how powerful small, steady actions are. They chase big dramatic acts. They run after rare miracles. But they forget that strength is built little by little. Think of water carving stone. Think of roots breaking hard rock. These changes are not fast, but their power is real. In the same way, your weekly act may seem simple, even ordinary, but over months and years it shapes your energy so deeply that witchcraft cannot touch you, poverty cannot cling to you, and evil spirits cannot stand near you. The act itself is simple: to sit with intention, to eat slowly and with thought, to know this is more than food, it is a shield. The discipline is not in doing it once, but in keeping it each week, as though planting seeds in your spirit. And like seeds, results take time. No farmer plants today and expects harvest tomorrow. The wise farmer tends the soil, waters the seed, waits, and then the harvest arrives full. Your weekly act is a seed of safety, a seed of wealth, a seed of freedom. The power of this act is not only in the food, but in the commitment behind it. Every time you choose to keep this weekly ritual, you are declaring something. You are saying to yourself, to your spirit, and to the universe, I am committed to my protection. I am committed to my plenty. I am committed to walking in light. This declaration, repeated each week, becomes a force that cannot be broken. Another truth is that darkness lives in disorder. Chaos, carelessness, and neglect open doors, but rhythm, order, and discipline close them. They build a stronghold. When you hold steady to a weekly rhythm, your life takes on a structure that evil cannot easily step into. You become firm, steady, and unshaken. Think of this practice as a drumbeat. One beat echoes and fades, but a steady beat creates rhythm that others can hear and feel. Soon your whole being beats with that rhythm, and destructive forces cannot remain in your presence. That is why one simple act done faithfully each week has more strength than 100 careless acts done without order. In time, you will notice change in yourself. You will feel lighter after your weekly act. You will see your thoughts grow clearer, your sleep become deeper, and your heart find more peace. When negativity tries to come near, you will see that it no longer affects you the same. It is as if an unseen wall stands between you and harm. That wall is built week by week. Every act of rhythm makes it stronger. The strength is in the rhythm, and rhythm makes the protection sure. Many people think of poverty only as having no money. But poverty is more than empty pockets. Poverty can live in the mind, in the heart, in the spirit. It shows in how people see life, how they expect little, how they believe they do not deserve more. Someone may have little money but carry great wealth inside, and soon that wealth will shape their outer life. Another may have money in hand but live in fear, in lack, in the spirit of poverty, and sooner or later it all slips away. This is because poverty is not only material, it is spiritual. When we speak of eating this food weekly, we are not only speaking of safety from witchcraft and dark forces. We are speaking of breaking the chains of poverty that bind so many. Poverty lives in blocked energy, energy that does not move, energy that grows stale. It keeps people in the same loops, working without reward, trying again and again but seeing doors closed, dreaming of more yet waking up to the same weight. It is like walking, with ropes tied to your feet. No matter the strength, the progress is slow and defeat grows heavy. Food has always carried a meaning when it comes to plenty. Think of how many cultures mark harvest with feasts, how bread and grain were seen as blessings, how fruit was offered to the gods. This was not just about feeding the body, it was about seeing food as life and as provision. When you eat with the awareness that this food carries the power to break poverty, you are not just feeding your stomach. You are feeding your spirit with the energy of plenty. You are telling your soul that lack has no place in you, that you are ready to receive, that you are joined to the flow of provision. What blocks plenty is not always lack of chance, but the weight of closed energy. Some people work harder than all others and still lack. Others move lightly and doors open with ease. Why? Because plenty is not only about effort, it is about alignment. When your spirit is heavy with poverty energy, with fear, with curses, with chains, then no matter the effort, the path feels blocked. When the residue of witchcraft clings to you, you push opportunities away. You shut down to the blessings that are trying to reach you. But when you clear yourself, when you eat a food that people for generations have known to carry a vibration of light and freedom, those doors begin to open again. That weekly meal is not just food. It is a statement that you are breaking the circle of lack. It reminds your spirit that you are not tied to scarcity. It signals to unseen forces that you are stepping out of poverty energy and moving into prosperity energy. Each time you do this ritual, you loosen another invisible rope that held you back. Each time you let go of another weight that stopped you from moving ahead. Remember, it is not the food alone that does the work. It is the awareness with which you eat it. If you sit with fear, doubting its effect, treating it like an empty habit, you are only filling your stomach. But if you eat with faith, with attention, and with clear intention, you turn the act into a spiritual key. You unlock abundance not only around you, but inside you. Picture your body as a magnet. If the magnet is dirty, rusty, or covered in dust, it loses its pull. It cannot draw what it was meant to attract. Poverty acts like that rust. It layers itself on the magnet of your being, making it harder for wealth, chances, and blessings to be pulled to you. When you cleanse yourself with this weekly ritual, when you feed your spirit with the right vibration, you polish that magnet. Suddenly, opportunities notice you. Doors open. What was once pushed away starts to come toward you. When you practice this regularly, you begin to feel small changes. Maybe you wake lighter. Maybe conversations that once left you drained begin to change. Maybe people treat you differently or new doors show up where there used to be emptiness. These are not random. They are signs that the chains of poverty are breaking. The more you stay faithful to the practice, the more those chains fall apart until one day you realize they are gone. You were not born to live in lack. You were not born to keep struggling without reward. You were not born to be trapped in poverty energy. You were born to live in flow, in prosperity, and in freedom. This food, eaten with awareness once a week, is a tool to remind your body, mind, and spirit of that truth. It helps reprogram you, shifting from scarcity into sufficiency, from closed doors into open gates. Poverty ends when you refuse to accept it as your destiny. Darkness does not usually come with a loud announcement. It rarely arrives as a single clear attack. More often it sneaks in quietly, seeping through the unnoticed cracks of everyday life. It shows up as sudden tiredness that makes no sense, as confusion that clouds your thinking, as a heaviness that lingers even when things seem fine. You push forward, but something unseen pulls you back. You look for joy, but something invisible drains it away. These are signs of spiritual interference, energies that do not belong to you but cling to you. Witchcraft curses and evil spirits often work this way, slow, subtle, but deeply harmful if left unchecked. When you grasp this, you see why strengthening your aura matters so much. The aura is your shield. It is the field of energy that surrounds you and protects you from forces that do not belong in your life. But like any shield, it can weaken if you neglect it. Negative energies thrive where the aura is thin, scattered, or unguarded. They attach and feed on fear, doubt, and weakness. This is why certain foods, eaten with the right intention, play an important role. They do more than feed the body. They fortify the aura, close the gaps, and push away the darkness that seeks a home in you. Eating this food once a week is more than a bodily habit. It reinforces your invisible armor. With every bite you declare to the unseen, I am not open to destruction. I am not open to curses. I am not open to the chains of witchcraft. This is not superstition, it is energy law. Just as light drives away darkness, high vibration food weakens the hold of low vibrations. Evil spirits cannot stay where the energy is clean and strong. Think of fire burning. Shadows. In the same way, certain foods burn away the residue of negative energy inside you. They cleanse your inner state. When the inside is clean, the outside starts to shine. Suddenly, the heaviness you carried feels lighter. The confusion begins to lift. The unexplained exhaustion starts to fade. What is happening is simply that your aura is no longer an easy target. The darkness is forced to retreat because your shield is restored. Witchcraft often looks for weakness. It finds cracks in your energy. It flourishes when you are spiritually malnourished, when you have forgotten to protect yourself, when your vibration is low. That is why people who do not care for their inner strength often feel attacked by negative forces. But when you raise your vibration, when you keep a weekly ritual that strengthens your aura, those forces find no room. They may come close, but they bounce off without power. The food becomes more than nourishment. It becomes a message to your whole being that you are safe. It becomes a flame in your spirit that witchcraft cannot stand. Just as smoke chases away insects, the vibration of this food chases away negative spirits. There is no need to fight them face to face. They simply cannot live alongside the energy you now hold. This is the key. Real power is not always about warfare. Sometimes it is about becoming so strong that the fight never begins. As this becomes part of your rhythm, you will notice how you react to life change. Where insults, betrayals, or setbacks once shook you, you now stay steady. Where confusion once clouded your path, clarity begins to guide you. Where fear once crept in, quiet confidence takes its place. This is no accident. It is the result of a strong aura. Evil cannot stay where strength lives. And remember, this is not only about your protection. A strong aura reaches outward. When you are fortified, your presence changes the atmosphere. People feel calmer around you. They feel lighter and safer. Places that once felt tense will shift when you enter. This happens because your energy is no longer being drained. It overflows. Instead of being open to dark influences, you become a source of light that others can feel. There will always be forces that try to disrupt, discourage, and destroy. That is the nature of darkness. But you are not without power. You have tools, wisdom, and rituals to keep yourself strong. Eating this sacred food once a week is one of those tools. It is simple, yet it is strong because it builds a shield darkness cannot pierce. Witchcraft, curses, and evil spirits only survive where weakness exists. Strengthen yourself, and they have no place to stay. Many overlook a truth when chasing protection, abundance, or freedom from evil. Power does not live only in the object, the ritual, or even the food. Power lives in the heart and mind of the person who practices. You can eat a sacred meal. You can drink the purest water. But if you do so without awareness, without purpose, it is only eating and drinking. What turns a common act into a spiritual shield is faith. What wakes up the hidden power inside creation is your intention. Everything you do carries energy. If you wake with fear and doubt, then everything you touch carries that vibration. But if you wake with confidence, with gratitude, with attention, the smallest act becomes strong. When you eat this food once a week, your mindset matters even more than the food itself. The food holds ancient wisdom, yes, but wisdom answers those who come with respect. If you eat it carelessly, it stays ordinary. If you eat it with reverence, it becomes remarkable. Intention is what separates ritual from habit. Habit is automatic and dull. It is repetition without thought. Ritual is rich with presence. It is the knowing that you are not just eating, you are protecting, you are clearing, you are aligning. In that moment, you are no longer only a body taking in food. You are a spirit waking its shield. That shift in awareness is where the real change lives. Consciousness is what truly opens the door to transformation. This is the reason why prayer before meals has been present in nearly every culture. It is not only about giving thanks, it is also about awakening energy. Words spoken with faith stir the hidden vibration inside the food. They lift it beyond being only physical matter, turning it into spiritual medicine. When you bless your food, you are not only showing gratitude, you are also shaping it. You are charging it with the energy of your intention, and when you eat it, you are carrying that blessing deep into yourself. Faith works in this very same way. Faith is the bridge that connects the unseen with the seen. Without faith, rituals turn into empty actions. But with faith, even the smallest act becomes powerful and unstoppable. You could be eating something completely ordinary, yet if you eat it with strong faith that it is cleansing your spirit, guarding your path, and strengthening you, then your body and spirit respond to that belief. This is not imagination or fantasy. This is the law of alignment. Your spirit listens closely to your faith, and the universe replies to it in return. Many people question why their lives do not shift even after trying spiritual practices. They repeat rituals again and again. They search for remedies and new solutions. Yet the reason is often because they are only going through the motions without engaging their heart. They wait for a miracle to appear from the outside, forgetting that the real key is within themselves. The food on its own already carries vibration, but it is your inner intention that unlocks that vibration. Faith is the spark that lights the fire. Without the spark, the firewood will always remain cold and lifeless. So, when you sit down once a week to eat this sacred food, never rush. Do not treat it as just another regular meal. Pause and slow down. Take a breath. Be present in the moment. Place your intention deeply into your heart. Whisper to yourself, "This food is purifying me. This food is protecting me. This food is breaking every chain of lack. This food is sending away every spirit of darkness." Speak it with your mouth, think it with your mind, and believe it fully in your heart. As you chew, see the heaviness leaving your body. See your aura shining brighter. See chains falling away one after another. What you picture with faith is not mere daydreaming. It is the language that your spirit truly understands. The power of intention is that it grows stronger the more it is repeated. The first time it may feel simple, maybe even just symbolic. But as you continue week after week, your faith becomes deeper. The act becomes more than just habit. It becomes a part of your inner identity. You begin to carry the vibration of safety and strength with you, even outside the moment of eating. Soon, the food itself is no longer the only shield. You become the shield yourself. And this is the point where real transformation begins. You discover that the food was never meant to be the full source of power. It was only meant to remind you of the power already inside you. The food is the key, but you are the door. The food is the spark, but you are the flame. When this realization takes root inside you, fear begins to fade away. Witchcraft no longer has the ability to frighten you. Poverty can no longer define who you are. Evil spirits cannot shake your ground anymore, because you understand that the strongest weapon you will ever carry is not something outside. It is already within you. So eat with respect, eat with awareness, eat with full faith, and while you do, remember this truth. The food itself does not change you. It is your faith that does.